Hi, thanks for checking out Behind the Shoot. This episode is about event photography. This is a Sweet 16 birthday party, and I'm just showing the reception area of how everything went down. Now, in event photography, it is very chaotic. There's a lot going on. You have to be prepared for that. And as a photographer, I would advise to have everything in order when it comes to getting your event photography ready. Have enough memory cards, have enough batteries, have everything set up, have your lights, have everything that you know what you're going to be doing, so that way you're not scrambling around. In my perception, I believe the best way of doing it is try to be like a fly on the wall. You're not trying to be intrusive, not too intrusive in a way. You are the photographer, and in this case, I am the only photographer here. So if there's a photo that needs to be taken, it has to be done by me. In this event, they have the backdrop here in one location, the cake on a separate side of the room, and the DJ booth and everything is on another side as well. So there's a little bit of movement that has to be going on. So as a photographer, you have to make sure, in this case, since you have the backdrop, keep an eye on that. Make sure that if there is someone that needs to take photos, you can go over there and take those photos for them. Well, that's the whole point of you getting hired. At this moment of the party, the birthday girl is finally got some time alone, so she hasn't had pictures with her backdrop, so she's doing that now. And at some point, I'm going to try and whisk her away and try and take portraits with her by herself in a different location, if possible. I would advise to, if you have one camera which you're going to be shooting with, if it's indoors like I'm doing right now, it's best to use a full frame camera. If not, you can use crop, it's fine, but be aware to bring flash and also use zoom lens. Use a zoom lens. In this case, I'm using a 24 to 105. You can go and try and use multiple primes if you have multiple camera bodies, but in this case I'm only using one camera and I'm knocking these things out. For the settings of the camera, I find it best to dial everything in the beginning, figure out what exactly where your lights are, meaning the lights for the house lights, what scenarios that you should be expecting, and once you dial it in, you forget about it. That's it. Once your settings are good, everything's set, shoot away, have fun, interact with people, get them to smile. Also, sometimes people need to advice of how to pose, so in most cases they do it all by themselves. Less work on you. Just make sure you don't cut anything off. That's it. Keep the good framing. And also, have the expectation to have a lot of photos to edit, to look through. Just have the expectation already. Don't get fooled. Once the event is over, you're just like, that's couple thousands of photos. One thing I try to do is, it takes time for the photographer, anyone, to even doing video, it takes time to go and edit these things, and in most cases a lot of these people aren't going to be able to see it right away, so use their phone, and take pictures for them, so that way instant gratification, they see it, they have it, and they can share it right away. I always find it good to take pictures of the moment, the stuff that's going on, the unique things that are going on at the moment. It's good to have the pictures with the backdrop, and yes, of course you're going to get the cutting cake part and make sure you get those special moments, but the other things that happen during a party that make that moments special are also the ones that you want to remember. So these are moments that a whole family is around and they might not be able to see each other again for maybe next year or whoever knows. So you want to go and try and capture those moments of happiness and laughter and pure bliss, because those are the moments that everyone cherishes. I always find it best to take multiple pictures. So if you have that one moment of cutting a cake, you're not just trying to take that one shot, you're taking multiple photos. So put the drive speed high or medium, whichever, doesn't matter of whatever speed your camera can shoot at. Make sure you get that set so when you're in that moment, you can capture what you need to capture. So if you're cutting the cake, you want to make sure you're able to capture that moment. High shutter speed, that moment's going to happen in a flash. Also in the other moments, say if you're just taking pictures just of the scenery and everything else, you want to be able to take 2-3 pictures of that one moment. So if one is blurry, happens to be blurry, and one person end up photobombing, at least you have another one that you could use to manipulate and work with to create a good picture. You as a photographer, you are there to capture the event. If someone is in your way, do not feel bad or anything, but you need to make sure you are able to capture that moment. It sucks that if they are paying you to go and take these photos and someone with their cell phone comes up and takes a picture and they block your view and you're like, and you don't have the shot. It's like, why are you there? That's the whole point of you being there. So don't be timid. Take command when you need to take command and say, hey, I need to get this photo. You're in my way. Excuse me, politely, excuse me, you can move out the way, whatever. And, accommodate for everyone. I believe the best method in getting the correct exposure is by using an on-camera flash. You're going to be moving around a lot, so you want the light to be consistent. And when you're using your on-camera flash, it's best to bounce that light straight into the ceiling. If it's a high ceiling, you might need to use more power or figure out a different solution, but having the flash on the camera, bouncing it to the ceiling, not straight towards your subject. You don't want them to have that cat eye look. You don't want them to have the red eyes and all this other thing that's going on. Bounce it into the ceiling and it'll diffuse the light. It'll make sure illuminate everything in that's near surrounding. But this is coming up to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a like if you like content like this. Subscribe to see many more. Comment and tell me what is your favorite lens for event photography. Peace.